My name is Emiliano Aguilar. I'm an assistant professor of history at the University of Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana. I'm a U.S. historian focusing on political labor history of the 20th century in the United States. Doing history means being equal parts curious and critical. All history starts with some sort of question, some sort of interest that we have, something that makes us go, wait, what? And it's from that wait, what moment that we want to find out sort of the contextual, the additional information behind these things, the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, right? More importantly, the how. Doing this sort of historical work means this deep critical engagement, not letting anything stand on its own. Then crafting our narratives, our interpretations of these narratives of the past, we want to critically examine a source, simultaneously acknowledging that we cannot uncover everything, that we want to open a door to allow other folks to join us in that search as well. To approach and appreciate local events, local history, I really want to dive into the play-by-play, right? And thinking through how do we do and start at the local level, we want to know those basic foundational questions. We want to know if it's in the case of, let's say, a boycott or a protest, who's at this event? Are there organizations involved? Are there particular names that I can see written on the back of photographs of it, in newspaper accounts, from people's own memories of the event that can then be follow-ups to further research? I want to know if there are organizations involved. What are they protesting? Who are they protesting against? What's sort of the momentum behind the organizing? And starting with that logo, we should be left with dozens of questions, dozens of threads to pull out to continue that work. In my family growing up, we had what my grandfather always called the dead people's chest. And this is sort of where I got interested in history to begin with. Right? My great-grandfather had in there his United Mine Workers card from before we came to Indiana, back when the family was out in Pennsylvania. And it, for me, led to this amazing question, oh my gosh, wait, we didn't just always live in Indiana? There was a pre-Indiana day to our family story. But also, I never knew my great-grandfather was a mine worker, let alone a card-carrying unionist of the organization. I always knew he worked on the railroad. That's why we lived and grew up across from a railroad yard, the Pegasus Yard in Chicago. But I had no clue behind any of this, or sort of the mementos that were shared of birth certificates, letters the family wrote to my great-grandfather and his brother when they were overseas during the First World War. These became all small snapshots that, looking back, I've seen similar sources in my work, but I have a family connection to a lot of the stuff I see now in these archives. The past is always present, whether it's the built environment around us, the stories that we listen to from elders in our community, the artifacts and archives that are held within people's homes that we might think of as just family mementos, tell a story themselves. And these are ways that we can look back, whether it's very personal, intimately in our own family stories, whether it's communities, the cities we live in, the structures that are constantly either reconceptualized, rebuilt, leveled, and built again. These become opportunities to examine that we're constantly engaging with the historical, whether or not we might think so.